Hey guys, and welcome back to another iContrast video. Just as this video is starting, I'd like to give a shout out to our latest subscriber, VVMS. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but I think it's an acronym for something, I'm not sure. But anyways, I'd like to apologize for the lack of videos lately, to be precise, in the last 3 weeks. That's because I've been really working hard at uni, doing exams and all that sort of stuff, but now it's over and I get like 13 weeks off, so I'll just be concentrating on making videos from now on, and hopefully I can make some pretty decent ones in that amount of time. But let's get into what's actually exciting about this video, and that is the Bahrain Grand Prix that we're having round 3 of the ASR Championship. Looking forward to starting this race. I had a lot of practice coming up, so coming onto the back straight now, going under the DHL sign. We're about to approach this long left-hander, and it's really precise that you hit the apex, or you can lose a lot of time, especially if you get onto that exit curb there. You can lose the back end and also lose a lot of time, or total your car if you're not precise. This corner is a little bit tricky to navigate as there's no real turn-in point, you just got to guess it. And now we're coming onto the penultimate straight before we head down onto the pit straight before approaching this last corner. Really vital that you hit the apex and got a good run out of this corner, or else you will get a poor exit, and that means you're going to be slowed down the rest of that straight. Coming across the line now, and I don't think we've gone really quick at all, even though we're in second place at the moment. We are 7/10ths off the leading car, which is Maznat, who also spent a lot of time practicing. Well, I spent a lot of time practicing with him. I don't know how much more he spent, but yeah, he'll be looking to make a real indentation on this race and to be looking for the win here. I've just cut this corner here to avoid a car that I thought was going to come at the first apex, but now we've got a penalty. Well, not a penalty, but now we got our laps invalidated, and now, well, this lap's invalidated it already, and I just did it for the sake of doing it to see where I would actually place, and you know, it's just a bit of a disaster happening now. So this lap now means absolutely zilch. Doesn't matter if I set it on pole, it's already invalidated just due to invalidating the lap on the first apex of the lap before starting, like, you know, my out lap. So it's really stupid. I think they've done it to make sure that you don't get an extra lap in from cutting so many corners, that you get an advantage from doing a lap time in less than what a lap time is. So say I go out in like 1 minute to go, and I managed to cut enough corners to get to the finish line and start my next lap before the time runs out. You're not allowed to do that, so I think that's why they try to implement it. Coming into the long swooping left-hander now, we're going to try and avoid that exit curb. We're already, I don't know how many tenths of a second up, but we're green. And yeah, if you like content, be sure to leave a like. And we've gone purple now, so that's just a real shame, because I was looking really good for this qualifying session, but now the lap that I actually put my effort into is going to be disallowed, and whatever we set here means absolutely nothing. And we go, I'm not sure what position that would put us in because the session hasn't finished yet. We'll see what every other driver sets, and we've gone in 12th. Not sure who got pole yet. So Maznat's got pole, so that's a double Renault front row lockout. And just for comparison, I set a 128.862 on my invalidated lap, which would have put me in 5th position. So a real shame there, but instead we are starting 12th on the grid behind Denny Rick, who's become a really popular guy on my channel so far on the slower tyres. So hopefully that doesn't happen again, what happened in the last round. But anyways, we've gotten off to a good start. It's to be expected, as Denny Rick was on a slower compounded tyre, and now we're going to try and look up the inside here, but it looks like the car in front is going to block us, and we've been hit by a couple of Red Bulls there, and I think that's just been a disaster over start already, because we've already lost our front wing, and now there's already a safety car. So really dramatic start to the Bahrain GP, and Dynamite is the car in front of us now. We have lost 1 position since the start of this race, starting off in 12th position. I definitely will not be looking to finish in this position, of course, because that would be really devastating for our championship hopes, and we definitely need to score some decent points if we're going to have any effect on this championship. So coming into the pits now, definitely going to change our front wing already, because there's no way we're going to catch up to the leaders if we have a damaged front wing, losing all that downforce through a circuit where you certainly need downforce if you're running a low wing setting, and now we're being held up in the pits by a car crossing into the pit lane. We've actually merged in front of final chicane. We kind of like ghosted into him, but we emerged in front now, and we are out back onto the track, and we'll be looking to start our round of overtakes up the field from 16th position on the grid, looking to make an impact on this race, hopefully skipping to lap 3. We get the falling too far behind glitch, and now there's a huge cluster of cars up ahead just because of that glitch, and final chicane almost plows into the back of us, but we managed to avoid him as he slams onto his brakes, locking up all of his tires. And that's another really dodgy part of this game that needs to be fixed, I believe, if we're gonna have to take league racing seriously enough to have an esport. But anyways, we're gonna crack on with it. Skipping to the end of lap 3 now, we have the safety car is ending, and once again it's clustering up as we're about to start coming through the final corner of the lap, and hopefully we can get a good exit, which we do, coming onto the back of Hold Up Man Dan. Oh wait, no, it's the Harry Tomato, as I thought he was faking to go into the pits there, but he was just pulling out of the slipstream. But we have enough straight line speed to easily overtake him on the outside on the racing line, and we're just going to hold it around the outside of him onto the turn 1, which turns to the inside for turn 2. As we're going through turn 3, heading under the Pirelli sign, we are on the back of Oliver Kelly now. Hopefully we can catch him sooner rather than later. He's got Dynamite, and it looks like probably Danny Rick ahead of them. I'm not sure if it's final chicane. I thought final chicane's behind us, and now we've got quite a lot of cars having a squabble here. No, it's Denny Rick so I was right about Denny Rick, and we're gonna try and make the most of that. We don't want to get held up by Denny Rick as we did in China, and we're gonna try and hold it around the outside, but it looks like Denny Rick's gone up the inside of Oliver Kelly, making a bit of contact as well. We're gonna stick in right behind this, try and see if we can make a profit out of anything. Denny Rick's run a bit wide there, and he's just cut the corner, and we make up another easy position now, still behind Oliver Kelly, but looks like we got Sprints holding up this bottleneck as Dynamite and Oliver are desperately trying to get past him, and now they're having a squabble themselves. Oliver Kelly just tucks in behind Dynamite before chucking it up the inside. Really quite a risky move through that double left-hander. It's really easy to get the braking wrong and lock up your tires and go straight on into the wall or just run wide. So he's done well there to make the sensible decision and tuck in behind Dynamite, as now we're going to head through the long swooping right-hander, one of my favorite corners of this circuit, and we're going to try and make the most of this turn to make a great exit and try and get onto the back of Oliver Kelly just before the pit straight. Make the most of the final corner, heading under the Rolex sign. Here we go, braking at the 100-meter board and making a better apex than Oliver Kelly, so hopefully we got a better run than him, and we're going to try and slip into the slipstream, heading onto lap 6 as DRS is now enabled. Hopefully that's going to promote overtaking, and we're going to truck it up the inside of turn 1, and he will have the inside of turn 2, so I don't think we'll be able to make a move, and he manages to hold on to P13 as he gets a little bit squirrely coming out of that corner, and we're going to go into the inside once again, just poking our nose where it probably shouldn't be, but we're going to unsettle him as much as possible. Still going side by side. I'm going to have to yield the position of that track and let him go in front of me as he now gets a bit of distance. And now we have Excalibur going around the outside of us. He was looking to make a ballsy move, but we managed to hold the inside line and keep our position, as Oliver Kelly looking to make the move up the inside of Dynamite through the right-hander, and he still doesn't manage to get in front. Still going side by side. He's going to have to pull in behind Dynamite as they go through the S's, just like I had to on the previous lap, as we get all over the back of Oliver Kelly, running a bit wide in the dirty air, and we make a bit of contact there, and I don't think there was much damage to the front wing. We'll find out soon, but I didn't really feel much of a difference, so I think we're good to continue on. Bit of a mistake on my behalf, as we still managed to hit that apex and try and get a good slingshot on Oliver Kelly there, as Oliver Kelly has caught up to the back of Dynamite now, and Maznat has the fastest lap of the race, as he must be leading the race on lap 7, going on to lap 8, as Oliver Kelly right on the back of Dynamite now. He's going to be making a move surely with the slipstream and DRS up the inside of Dynamite. Dynamite makes a late move, and then that's cost us a front wing, me trying to avoid that collision as best as possible. But man, that's just really unfortunate, as I think Dynamite has made a bit of a late move there, and Oliver Kelly couldn't really react in time to Dynamite's positioning of the car, and that's really just ruined our race. That's really unfortunate for us to be caught up on a collision like that on a straight where it shouldn't really happen at all, and Excalibur's going to make short work of us, and I'm not going to really fight him as got no front wing. And now we got Denny Rick is going to make a easy position as we're limping our car back to the pits. I don't think there's much we can do about our race now. We're only on lap 8 though, not even halfway through it. Hopefully we can make, I don't know, some attempt at trying to get some points, but you know, we're already in P13, already outside of the points, and we already got Denny Rick overtaking us around the outside. Not much I was gonna fight him about, and we get a warning for running wide, even though I got no front wing and getting no advantage out of it. But now we got the Hairy Tomato as well, looking to make a move, but I don't think he'll be able to make the move unless I make a mistake. And I do lock up and run wide, and he gets the position anyway, so I'm not gonna bother trying to fight him. I'm gonna go straight into the pits. Nothing else I can really do, and I just stopped nicely for the pit lane. And on to front wing number 2. Unfortunately, didn't want to end the race this way with 2 front wings being used, but hopefully we can make a comeback from now on. And onward and upward, as they say. Waiting a long time for this front wing to be put on, like 8, 9, almost 9 seconds I believe, for that front wing to be put on. Actually, yeah, it was 9 seconds, so another slow pit stop for me as Prying Stingray manages to get in front of us. Now we come out in P18, almost dead last, only 2 cars behind us now. Not much going for us, pretty much. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's really nothing going for us this race at the moment. My mindset right now is this race is a throwaway, and I was already looking forward to the next race because I didn't think I could mount any challenge at the points now from 18th position, as Stingray loses the car all by himself there. Definitely he's not having a good race either, being my teammate. And skipping on to lap 15 now, we actually catch up to the back of Hold Up Man Dan once again, and he seems to be going a little bit slow for us to want to get stuck behind. But now we're going to make the move around the outside, and we managed to make it stick as he's on the slower tyre, and we have slightly newer tyres. I think it would probably be around the same tyre wear by the time I caught up to Hold Up Man Dan, but making the move regardless, as we are now trying to hunt down Sprints on lap 16. We managed to catch up to the back of him as Sprints makes the move on Excalibur, his teammate in the Force India, and now we got to catch up to Excalibur with Jeff, I think, in front of both of them, being the cork in the bottle, as we're now trying to hunt down Excalibur on the straight, going under the DHL sign. We've got DRS, so hopefully we can make the move sooner rather than later. We don't want to get stuck behind these guys too much, as we're trying to get into the points if anything is possible. Skipping to lap 17 now, as we are still behind these 3 guys, and we're having a good old scrap for P15, 16, 14, 13 and we managed to make the move up the inside of Excalibur. Hopefully we can make it stick as he tries to hold it around the outside, and I should have a better run through onto the pit straight, and we do have a better straight line speed, it seems, with 40% worn tyres now, or 47 should I say. It's starting to get towards the end of these tyres lifespan, and now we're catching up to the back of Jeff and Sprints. We managed to brake a little bit later than both of them, which puts us right behind Sprints now as he goes up the inside of Jeff. We're going to try and make the move up the inside of Jeff as well if we can, but Sprints looks like he's going to be holding the inside line through the right-hander. We're going to try and make the move up the inside of Jeff as well, but he manages to hold it around the outside, and he's going to stick right behind Sprints, who he seems to be really lagging, and that's really causing us issues of trying to overtake him because we don't know what's actually going on his side of his point of view. And we make a bit of contact there going through the right-hander, and that's a huge lag spike, and I really want to discard Jeff as quick as possible so we don't get any front wing damage from being behind him just due to lag. And we're going to go up the inside of him now, and we get a poor exit, so he's going to hold on to that P14 on the slower tyre at the moment. And now we're going on to lap 19, heading down the pit straight. Once again, we're getting a decent tow, and we're going to try and make the move up the inside, but he's broke pretty late, and we make a little bit of contact, pushing him a bit wide, and he has the inside line for turn 2, as we now have Excalibur all over the back of us on the soft tyres as well. And we're heading under the Bradley sign, going into the long left-hander now, and we're all over the back of Jeff still, really trying to overtake him as he's holding us up now, being on a slower worn tyre. And I really want to catch the car ahead. I think it's Sprint's just making ever so much of a gain to the rest of the pack in this squabble, and we're all over the back of Jeff now. Hopefully we can make the move up the inside of this final corner, and we break at the 100-meter board nicely, hit the apex, and hopefully we get a better exit. But he has a bit of lag, almost swipes us just because of the lag. I don't think he would do that on his actual point of view, but we managed to get a better straight line speed than him, and he has to yield that position as we come out just in front of Dynamite, as we give him a little bit of space, and we're going side by side through the corners. I had to cut the corner there just to avoid the collision, as we're still side by side. Dynamite's up my inside, going on the Pirelli sign, looking to hold the outside of this short right hander as it turns into the left hander for the second corner in succession, and there's not much he can do once he's on the outside of this turn, and he has to yield that position as I go through the racing line on the S's, as he tries to make the move now around the outside of us, but we're going to squeeze him and make it really uncomfortable for him, and I'm definitely not going to give him an inch of the track that he doesn't need. My game footage actually cut out there for a second, and we didn't get to see Dynamite pushing me off the track, which was a little bit rude if you ask me. But now we hit the back of Jeff, who was lagging, and that's, you know, that's our race basically done. You know, there's not much you could do. You can't really come back from 3 broken front wings in a row, as yeah, like I was in the points at one stage, I think, ahead of Dynamite, but now, you know, I make up all that ground just for it to be taken away from me again. You know, that one was more or less my fault, but, you know, I got shoved off the track by Dynamite in the first place, so I should have been still ahead of Dynamite, and I shouldn't have had a car in front of me to cause front wing damage. But, you know, Dynamite once again indirectly ruining our race, and, you know, there's not much else I can go for apart from the fastest lap. But now we have a safety car. With 4 laps to go, we have a safety car. Now this really throws a cat amongst the pigeons. We are on the super soft tyres, but they are significantly worn, so whatever advantage the super softs would bring to us is, you know, it's basically nullified. And we're onto the back of the trainer cars ahead of us now, which is really exciting, and we almost get brake checked there by Waffles and Bits, but, you know, there's not much you could do when the car in front of you stops as well, so we're lucky to avoid the car ahead of us. And V-Fingers is on the inside of Waffles, preventing him from getting a decent run, and we're going to be looking to make the most of that advantage, looking to make the move on the pit straight away, going up the inside of Waffles and Bits. Now we have no DRS as the safety cars only just came back in, getting in front of Waffles and Bits. Now we're going to dominate the first apex of the corner, and there's not much he can do about that. Somebody's run wide, I think it was Williams, heading into the turn 1, and we have a ghost car not getting in the way of us, hopefully too much, and V-Fingers is the next car ahead of us, as he started last on the grid, I believe, and he'll be looking to make his way through the field as well as he goes up the inside of 2 cars. What an overtake from V-Fingers, as now we are stuck behind the Hairy Tomato once again, and we're going to try and make the move up the inside, but he guards it, and we tried to make the move around the outside, but somebody was trying to go around the outside of us too, and now Waffles and Bits is side by side with us, and he'll be looking to make the move into the double left-hander, which he does, and Excalibur also follows almost, making the move up my inside, as I didn't even know he was going to, and I make a bit of contact with him, so my apologies to Excalibur there. But heading around the outside of Excalibur, and now we're onto the back of Waffles and Bits as they go side by side with Sir LJB, and we now cut the corner and get a penalty. But that's the first corner we've actually cut, so we'll be getting that penalty removed at the end of the race. Since the safety car restarts, it's absolutely been chaos, and now we have Waffles and Bits and the Hairy Tomato going side by side, and now we're going up the inside of the Hairy Tomato, as we make a bit of contact as well. Managed to not spin him around, which I really tried not to do, and now we made up another position. Who would have thought, coming from 18th place in the grid, 3 broken front wings, we are now in P10 on the last lap of the race, and now we're going under the final Rolex sign and into the final corner. I don't think we have a good enough run on Waffles and Bits, but Waffles and Bits goes side by side with Sprints. I'm not sure who's going to make it to the line first. It's a drag race between Waffles and Sprints, and I think Sprints manages to get Waffles to the line, but he may have had a penalty, and just because of our penalty we've been pushed down to P11, but we'll get that removed, so I think we move up into P9. I'm pretty sure it's P9, but congratulations to Mazda. It's a Renault lockout once again, as they started, with Wimpinator joining them on the podium, and it's Stylen in second place as well. He's had a lot of bad luck this season so far, so it's good to see it swing his way every once in a while, and he manages to get some decent points for his championship bid, as we come across the line in 9th place, it looks like, after the penalty is removed, just due to the penalties ahead of us. And boy, I did not expect to get any points at all. I am so lucky to have even gotten into 9th place after all that. I was happy with 10th, let alone 9th, but managed to come back with that safety car. That was just pure luck. We managed to get that safety car, and we actually turned this race into something. So I'm really happy with that result after what happened at the start. We should have qualified well and truly higher up the grid, and then we should have been involved in all that midfield incidents and carnage. But that's going to be all for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you on the next one.